Hello, Verge Science. Okay, it started. Hello, my name's Neil Sandage. I'm watching the quest for Nikola Tesla wireless power technology. It was put onto YouTube 2020, December 10th. That's the 12th month. And I didn't actually catch the name of the person. Was even taking notes, and I like taking notes. This is something I saw last night, and I was trying to get back to it. Didn't have a good opening. It's an artful thing. It's something that you have to feel, and I'm a very plain-spoken person. I just have to feel on the story. There's remote control stuff going on that's preventing me from working on my own cabin and all sorts of stuff, and didn't know what he didn't know. It's actually remote control, and I get positive and contradictory information. Positive and contradictory information. It's voice of God is radio waves, not radar, and there's ongoing stuff. But I know for a fact that it almost doesn't involve any kind of. All right, so the fields, the cell phones, all the Schumann radiation, all that stuff is kind of crazy nonsense. The one thing that makes sense is the inflatable Christmas man, the dancing inflatable. I really need images and props. Hey, I ordered. Anyways, so a local field excites something or lights it up, and then the radar is able to ping it and put it in motion. It's that psychology test of the thrills of abusing human beings, and that test was also boosted psychologically to get people into the mood to harm all the other students and to kill all the smart people, or to torture them with electricity to the point of near death, as part of that psychology experiment because of the external radar seeing what it could do with people's brains. And it wasn't just people being in their head, it was external energy being in their head. This claps on the spike, which is universal energy, and draws on power lines. And I know for a fact power lines are part of it, that you can tap a power line and send signals into it like ADSL or asynchronous digital signal. I forget what the L. I guess L just means line. The line. Anyways, there's actually endless bad stuff going on. I really prefer if we just had an honest discussion instead of this coded, artful kind of stuff. Because seriously, people are dying everywhere. The Schumann radiation, or Schumann resonance, I mean. The Schumann resonance with the 7.83, which is 7-Eleven, Bill and Ted, and history adventures and hunting down and burning any child or woman who in any way predates 1979 AD with the new Vulgata. We're working our way through killing all the farmers first, then the models, then the athletes, then the books of knowledge. Now, because these four gospels are openly taught in the Bible, starting with, I'm skipping over the Adam and Eve thing. What you should know is it's a garden, so they had tans. They weren't black people, or they weren't black people, and they weren't albino. They were tan. And the missing link is this joke to kill anybody who likes good food that hasn't been pre-processed. And albino-fied chicken, soybean, albino wheat. I mean, wheat is over 5,000 species of grains, and yet it's we eat. Each of the grains had a name. It's like, fuck you, it's Sunday, I'll eat whatever you serve me. I mean, we're literally run by malicious, drunken alcoholics, and yet the Verge Science are brilliant, calm, artistic, arts majors or something. I know it's a science degree for me and for a lot of people, but the video composition is an arts, is associate arts or masters or bachelors of arts. It's like, I don't even know why we give arts degrees. That doesn't make any sense. We're never going to improve as a society if you award people bachelors and masters of arts. That's con job stuff. And I don't even want to use the word con job. It's to con the cons? No, to trick the cons. The cons are the kings. And king isn't king. It's kin to G or St. George in the military. The etymology of English is to hunt down and kill all pretty women. That's something that y'all have got to realize with Al and Alice and Elle and all of those things. It's anybody who's Savet, who has good eyebrows. There was this ongoing joke of piebald and truebald, which through the Yorkshire pig, they're making all the geniuses into bald or eyebrowless. And then they're setting the bald and eyebrowless to think that they're the true St. George race and to murder all their cousins, kind of like the Hitler joke, kind of like the Saddam Hussein joke, kind of like the Mao Zedong joke, kind of like the Stalin joke. Except the new shift is thanks to the Yorkshire pig, all those insane people now have visual defects or cosmetic defects. And this is true, though. And I've seen a few of them. Out of shape or just albinoism. That's like the easiest thing to exploit. Because someone said freed by whiteness, that was to peroxide. And albino turkey, albino chicken. That means that you can be set free to do anything and be without sin and always redeemable. We need to switch to genetics. The Y conspiracy of the 4-inch people, which has been going on for several decades. Actually, since the beginning of the Constitution, where they celebrated limiting the leaders from 7 years to 4 years. 4-inch power. I got a gun. Just deal with it. It's got 6 bullets for a reason, or 5 bullets for a reason. Yeah, you're not going to believe why someone gets angry. And so anyways, the number 4-inch vagina and 4-inch sex organs are less than 1%, 0.09% of the human body. And they're inferior in every way, and yet they've created a global network of kill anybody who exceeds 4. And the people that have been put in charge of it are something like Hitler, Stalin, and there's an endless list. For some reason I'm having difficulty. But we'll go with FDR, who I love, and they murdered because he woke up. You'll find out why someone hates you. And Theodore Roosevelt, whose entire family, I think, got killed. They don't even talk about it. It's like, oh my God, Theodore Roosevelt's awesome. But the tragedy of the family is like, boop, 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 dropping dead all around. Because those bastards are objecting to the army chaplains ruling the earth. And that's what we're really going through. All you science and arts majors with this shit that I'd have to sit here and feel. Can you feel? Like the army chaplains get up on a pulpit, they read a book that says, hey, see that smart guy over there? Go murder his ass because we want alcohol and bread in church, and there's 102 verses that says no alcohol in church. I don't care about it because there's a verse in the Bible that says that alcohol lets me have orgies with every woman in the church. It actually says orgy. I forgot which translation. But yeah, there's... one of them says that alcohol leads to sexual orgies. It actually uses the word orgy. I was like, where did that word come from? How'd that enter in English? Orgy. It sounds more like orange juice or something. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to stop it here at 8 minutes. Tesla is correct about sending energy into the air and into the ground, not just poetically, but physically. And the Tesla ring, the loop, is CERN underground. Resonance for creating charges in atmosphere and ground, earthquakes, and all sorts of stuff. Also, fusion reactors are able to do that. There are many rings or accelerators. The Texas abandoned donut underground is some sort of sacrificial, like Texas Instrument thing to go nuts and remove them from all the earth because they're killing the crosses that way. Yeah. Tesla's 100% correct. Those donuts act as UHF, ultra high frequency rings, but also extra low frequency rings because of their size. The VHF, UHF, all that stuff is nonsensical. You have a large enough ring and 7.83 megahertz, not even megahertz, it's actually total hertz cycles. Now it should be in the 60 frequency or 120. Yeah. Anyways, it's like just the standard electricity running around the loop. Keeping it charged can be used as a global donut without having a particle use the accelerator. All the tantalum wires in the CERN and other rings, the tantalum is used as a super powerful magnet or electromagnetic conductor, and it's all it takes for them to receive all the radar, all the lightning, and to transmit it all. It's strange how much data it produces and how much energy it uses. I can't quite figure that one out. I haven't been explained. I'm like, how does it store up the nuclear energy to produce that much power in a single burst? And what is all this? And if it's this many volts, how many amps? And I don't want to get lost in it. But yeah, so this video. Anyways, I'm just telling you, Tesla was correct, both poetically and physically. It's just troublesome to figure out how to do it. One of the challenges is you really would want to cross the boundaries between atmospheric layers. And I was all for that. Then I found out it was like 50 to 60 miles to the first layer transition, then all the other layers are thinner. It's kind of like a cake with icing. It's that thick of a ratio difference, where the pancake is maybe 8 times thicker than the next layer. Alexa, how high is the mesosphere?
Here's something I found on the web. According to reference.com, the mesosphere begins approximately 31 miles above Earth's surface and ends approximately 62 miles above Earth.
Oh, meso is above where we are, but 32 or so, ha ha ha. Alexa, what is the elevation of the troposphere?
Here's something I found on the internet. The height of the troposphere is 5 miles in the winter, to around 8 miles high in the summer, and 11 or 12 miles in the tropics.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's actually doable. 5 mile. What? That's doable. It's annoying. Google with its balloons. Now, the NASA shuttles in the space actually burned their tethers. It stored up so much energy outside of the atmosphere, but in the Van Allen belts, just trailing behind the shuttle. And it actually burned the cable. So the challenge is also voltage, moving the energy. The ampage will be super easy. The really interesting and mysterious thing is sending energy into the ground and pulling energy out of the ground. We can do that with earthquakes and with the LIGO thing, where they can actually not just detect earthquakes, they can actually send messages through the earth faster than any messaging system possible. It might be the first neutrino or whatever you want to call it. The LIGOs like disappeared. They used to be easy to find, and last time I searched, I could only find like 2 of them. You're making me angry. And also, they're not reporting the quakes up north and other places. And again, the 4-inch conspiracy is less than 1% of a human's base pairs. And the other thing about base pairs is you can never have a haploid. Language. It's not me. The thing about genetics is there's no way to measure base pairs as a haploid. I know that somebody did their gram measurement where they took a bunch of sperm DNA and weighed it and estimated that there was about 3 billion base pairs in the sperm, and that the woman is a minimum interdiploid of 6, but it's more like 8 to several hundred million base pairs. That's what the fifth element's about. There are these men, they're inferior, they have 4-inch penises, and they want to murder everybody that's prettier. Well, actually, it's always farming. The Alquran enforces the Bible, saying that, yeah, those guys up north are obsessed with being a monocrop species, growing only one crop, and that's because of the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. all bearing multiple fruits. And so there's this obsession of Gregor Mendel and Lemaitre to force all species on Earth to come from one human. That's the reason we have the vaccinations, is we're trying to wipe out everybody and trying to remove all the protein mitochondria from that one alpha to achieve an albino origin. And then somebody wants to food color everything back in. They do that with the fish, the chicken, and all sorts of farm-raised things, is adding color back to it. Like, we'll eventually do that for the kids. I'm like, what? They are doing it, and they do it for the kids. And carrot juice does that, and they use these things in drinks and everything, adding fake colors. I mean, Coca-Cola with caramel coloring. All of you are obsessed in removing the color and then adding back in a man-made color, and I mean, literally murdering everybody who's smart. Black eyebrows are worth 15 IQ points on their own because of iodine and copper content. You also get more efficient muscle signals with black hair. Copper is one of the best conductors. The only thing stronger is silver. And silver oxidizes more than copper does, though. All right, well, I'm going to send this to them, and they have to redo all their stuff. Tantalum and CERN and loops and antennas and UHF are things to look into. But it's run by a bunch of incompetent idiots that are pulling up all the ground in the Congo and erasing all the rainforest because they want a lawn mow. But they don't understand the leaves and the moisture on the earth creates all the clouds in the sky. It's not evaporation. It's trapped energy in the earth that's then sent back into the sky through keeping all the supposed undergrowth. But I call it under canopy. There were a lot of terms for it, but then you all murdered all the scientists and burned all the books and dumped out all the libraries to put Harry Potter and foot traffic into your Library of Science degrees. All the Library of Science people who knew this got murdered or fired from the Library of Congress and other places because you wanted to curate only the poetry and get rid of the science to understand what Tesla was saying was 100% true, and that cloud energy is lightning and volts, and you harvest it from the earth and you put it into the sky, and that's the cloud energy in the soil. You can actually use the soil as a battery, like a lead acid battery, and the lead acid would be the tannins from the dead leaves and the dead foliage and the undergrowth, all having tannins that form your acid battery in the earth and transmit it into clouds that evaporate into the sky and create an endless energy cycle with things like you mentioned tantalizing and tantalum and various metals, which are actually very excellent, like palladium, platinum, and all that, very excellent metal conductors, or very excellent electricity conductors with very low resistance and almost zero corrosion, or no corrosion to water and stuff like that. And biologically safe, that's the most important aspect. Everything must be without harm to the body. You've been moving all the fields, trying to tip Earth out of orbit and fly it into the sun or away from the sun. It's very strange. But it's true. And that fat person really pisses me off. But it's like it's intentional bait. He's actually a family cousin. It's just the smashing the tall antenna into flatlining wires. That really pings me. Now it's annoying that there was a 5-point spoke. We now know to do 8 points in order to be in harmonic resonance with the antenna design and his original electric motor. But he was working with other people who like the number 4 or 5. The 3, 4, 5, and 5 die. It's how to kill everybody on Earth. Yeah, they knew it when they created it. Well, Tesla had created the ground resonance with the engineering structure to cause a building to earthquake. And so those things would be also earthquakes. But I wanted to explain the tannin, vegetation decay, moisture, clouds, lead acid battery that exists everywhere. And everybody, MacGyver and all that, with their acid rain and all that, weren't getting things right because they were talking about acid rain falling and destroying the earth, but it's actually acid rain rising and charging and powering all the earth. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.